So before we jump into it, what are your thoughts on Chopper? Like from the beginning?
Overall, before we get
Yeah,
started, I I always separate the things I say in between like the first time I watched it and the second time I watched it. First time I
sure.
watched it, I was looking for new Naruto. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was
Okay.
I was fucking fiending for new Naruto. I was like, is it One Piece? I don't know. I'll try it. Okay, not yet. Where the fights at? I don't see the fights. Okay, let's try Fairy Tale. Picture's a little shinier, and I
I've
can
heard
see
I've
where the
heard good
fights
things.
at.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy Tale is such a fairy. If let's, I'm gonna put it like this: if One
Okay.
Piece is Walmart, Fairy Tale is Dollar General.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah,
that bad.
it's
No.
yeah. You try, but then you're like, no.
Okay.
And so I come back to One Piece when I'm watching it with Jen, and I'm like, you know what? Chopper's not that bad. He's doing the hiding thing. I see that he wants to be a like doctor and everything like that. I love everything post time skip, or pre time skip, but post time skip, I can't see him as anything more than just like a mascot. Like, hey, we need to sell merch, put him in a new costume. Like, I don't see him doing anything. And the things that they have him do are so that he isn't interrupting the full fight. Like, they had him fight Queen, but we all knew that it wasn't going to be Chopper versus Queen.
It was
So it's like
Chopper, Doctor Chopper versus the
Dr.
evil
Queen.
science.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
I get that that has weight as far as Chopper's character and his
Sure.
development and his arc, but as somebody who has watched this and seen him max out, like, I gotta take Rumble Balls to save my friends, for Robin, who he knew for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you see him now, and it's like, yeah, I'm like in control of myself, but the thing that pisses me off is that you're calling me a raccoon dog. It's just like, bro, this is a little depressing.
I entirely agree. Post time skip because there's been a lot of opportunity for him. Like let's say he oh dude, I actually had a headcanon a few back shots. So let's say post time skip post Wano, he's in the fucking lab. He's trying to fix the smile fruit. He's trying to fix the side effects, which would automatically parallel or not like parallel, but reach a level if he's able to do it to also mimic Caesar, Vegapunk.
He's on the level
Uh,
of mad scientist.
yeah, yeah,
Whoa,
he
whoa,
could be
whoa,
up there if he
hold that
fixed
thought,
it.
hold that thought. I'm gonna get a water because I feel like I'm
Okay.
locked in for this one. Because, yo, this mad shit, I feel like 100 fucking percent he should be on the level of a mad scientist right now. I 100% agree.
Because I see it like this. Let's because the rumble balls are kind of like a enhancement of some sort. Let's say he's like overdosing on this shit. He's like PTSD from Wano, and he's like he has like a drug problem, like these like real life shit. Like give him something where he's like in the lab 20 hours a day, where he's like,
I
no, I
wonder,
can't figure that shit
yo,
out. I got this fun.
I'm not a writer. I've tried to write the same book for like the last 10 years. If you know
I
me,
get
then you know I've tried.
it.
I'm not a writer, but I feel like Oda regrets how quickly he used that Rumble Ball. You know what I mean? Like maxing out on that Rumble
Yeah,
Ball, because that could have been post time skip gold. Like he
and I
uses it
don't
at the beginning at like Fishman Island, or not even Fishman Island. Like he
know.
used that at, bro. If he never used that until Wano, now that's a long time. That's a long ass time. So let's take it back 10 years. If he used that at Dressrosa,
Yeah,
then that would have been crazy.
because I mean he has the big form, right? His out of control form,
Yeah, after the Rumble Ball, but it's like that used to be the awakening. Because remember back
which
Impel Down. Hey,
hey, what up?
we haven't even
Like
started yet.
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't even started. Great.
We're talking about
Um,
Chopper because like post time skip's different.
but like
Yeah, I
Yo,
I
let's
literally just got back.
go.
He said his AC's out, but he's still in a hoodie. That's crazy
Yeah,
word. That's
yeah,
nasty word.
it's not me complaining. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, let's bring this up. Like, let's try to put this into the actual video. But I do
We
gotta
can't. It's
go.
pre-time scale. Yeah.
I do gotta go. So
Okay.
nice. Yeah, Chris made it. You know, you do flesh out the show.
Appreciate you, man.
Like, I don't think you think that, but you do flesh out the show.
I
Uh,
appreciate that, man.
Usual videos are like 10 minutes of just me and Corey.
What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, your one true place for One Piece content. We do not subscribe to the World Economic Journal. Big News Morgan is a hack. We know that.
Mm.
Nice.
Y'all know that. So why don't you come here for news? Because here is where y'all can find One Piece content on the Straw Hats, the Blackbeard 10 Titanic Captains, episode reviews, manga reviews, Devil Fruit, I don't know, Devil Fruit discussions. We got it all. My name is Corey. That's CJ. That's Kev. It's Monday, and we're talking about Tony Chopper, the last one on our Straw Hat playlist before we get to the captain himself.
Mhm.
Goddamn.
Let's talk about it. If you are new here, please subscribe, like, comment your favorite Chopper moment pre-time skip because that's what we're keeping this to. If this is your first time, I said that again, but basically what we do is we go through all their major fights pre-time skip. If they do not have a lot of major fights like Robin, Chopper, Nami, we go in more
Yeah.
theory mode and what they could have been going down different routes. So that being said, let's get started. If you are watching this live on the Overlook I'm sorry, on the Grand Line
Mm.
Gazette Twitch. We live stream every Tuesday, Thursday, possibly Friday, and Sunday. So follow us live, subscribe, do our social media stuff, and let's get started. Tony Chopper is also known as the Cotton Candy Lover Chopper. He's the doctor of the Straw Hat Pirates and the senior officer of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. He's the sixth member of the crew, the fifth to join, and he joins at the end of the Drum Island arc. He temporarily forced to join the Foxy Pirates during the Long Ring Long Land arc, but quickly returns to the Straw Hat crew. He has a Hito no Mi, a devil fruit that allows the user to transform into a human hybrid at will. He was taught medicine on Drum Island by Dr. Hiruluck, which we talked about before, and Dr.
Mhm.
Cruella, who is to cure all illnesses. He's got his bounty of 50 berries after the incident at Annie's lobby. And that's it, pre-time skip. We're not going to go into post-time skip. Forgive me,
Mhm.
I've been drinking. Let's get started. um, okay, so pre-time skip Chopper. I feel like pre-time skip Chopper has a very strong backstory and strong arc. I honestly think the weakest part of the whole Chopper arc, the Drum Island arc, is Warple.
His epitaph.
No, Warple. He didn't get his epitaph yet, but I think
Yeah.
the antagonist is the weakest part.
I mean,
Um.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Go ahead, Kev.
he's. I don't think he's meant to be somebody strong. Like that's he's he's the doctor, right? Like we find that out later. Like that's his whole entire. That's his whole entire shtick is trying to be a doctor. Yeah, he has some moments where he does power up a little bit, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who's excited about a 50 berry bounty increase. So it's like he is truly
I
the pet of the Straw Hat.
He didn't like the initial bounty, but the increase he fucked with. He was like, "Hey, I'm doubling up."
He was like, "Yeah, bro, relax, dog." You're talking
to go
about
against
billions, and he's like 100. Yes.
to go against your point, Corey, about Warple. I don't think that he's the weakest aspect of it at all because you got to look at it from more of a setting how you setting up Chopper's character as a juxtaposition because Warple took all of the doctors away from Drum Island. So he wants to be the best doctor, and he just inherited Hiruluck's will and everything, where he wants to cure any disease. Hiruluck wanted to cure the whole country, island, and make them smile and be hopeful, optimistic again. Hence the cherry blossom thing. So
Yeah, you're
Warple's
right.
good for that as an
He
antagonist
was
because he
also
wasn't Luffy's antagonist.
you're also that was one of your favorite characters when we went over all of our favorite non-straw hat characters. Mine was Dr. Hero. Look, one of yours is Warple. So I should have saw you. I should have saw you coming up. He's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
But as
time out,
far as
time
like
out,
a
time out.
fighting standpoint,
Soon.
as far as a battle standpoint, yeah. But yeah, to what Chris is saying, that is 100% like idealist. These arcs in the pre-time skip, they all teach us something different. This one's like
Yeah,
ideals mean more than life.
yeah.
Strong
And
on
that's
that.
like one of the great parts of like One Piece because it's something that usually gets overlooked from people, especially new age anime watchers and everything, where they're not here necessarily for the story. I want to see some crazy animations. I want to see some crazy, insane fights. If you're not doing that, then that's a bad show.
Yeah,
I'm not watching.
yeah. It's like, hey, these guys are super powerful, but this is why they're powerful. It's like, okay, but it's like not why they're powerful, but what made them want to be powerful. And I want to
Yeah,
see it.
because right, yeah, I enjoy character development that makes sense based on the character and their interactions through other characters. I like character-based driven stories, and One Piece has shown me that and taught me that. You don't really get so much of that type of care or
That's just not the age we're in. So
not anymore.
everything cycles around. That's just not the age we're in. The age that we're in promotes different kind. Now, my bad. I'm not trying to cut you off, but the age that we're in promotes like artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like art, like the people who can draw and animate. That's high key praise now, which is good because those people were definitely overworked and underpaid, underutilized before. So that's just the age we're in. But I 100% agree. The thing I like about One Piece is just the character interaction.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh,
Um,
but that being said, Tony Chopper, he does not have the most fights. But let's say one of his biggest first fights is the fight versus Miss Merry Christmas with Usopp.
and Mr. Four,
So
Just before, yeah.
this one was, I like to think of a lot of the pre-time skip fights as centered off versus comedic relief versus seriousness.
mm-hmm.
Their fight with Usopp was a very comedic, but at the end of the day, they were going through it.
Yeah. You ever getting put through the ringer, and Chopper was already at a disadvantage because right before they even get into the fight, the dude passing out because he's a reindeer in the desert. He's already going through it, and then you team up with arguably the weakest Straw Hat member to take down a giant Babe Ruth guy in a mole that you can't hunt.
And it's hella easy guy because his horns are like a slingshot. So the
Yeah,
way let's talk about his point system. Let's talk about his pre-time skip point system.
paved the way for Luffy's.
How
It
Very
got
does
true.
you introduced to the idea and the concept.
yeah, and Luffy just builds off what he sees. He's just like every anime character where they're very like I just had the word and I lost it. It's like they learn when they can fight easily. Like they're just locked in. They're
Sure.
like, okay, like you use that move, I know how to counter that, or I can figure out a plan how to counter that. I gotta figure out an opening, and then I can take that with me for life. He's like one of
Right,
those kind of characters. His
right.
point system, he's got his uh, point system where he's like, oh, actually, I think I might be getting these confused with. Here, Chris, can you go in? Or Kev, can you go in? I want to
Yeah,
look these
yeah.
up.
Let's start off with the normal. The first version that we see is Walk Point. That's where he gets like all four limbs, and he actually looks like a full reindeer.
Yeah,
And then we got Brain Point, which kind of seems like his just normal base form. That's kind of what he's always in. Is
I
that
wish they
is that
would
kind of how
clarify
you
that.
guys?
I
Yeah,
wish they would clarify that because it seems as though he just doesn't use it anymore.
yeah, and it look. I mean, when I'm looking at a picture of Brain Point, it looks like the normal version. So,
Right. Like,
What
um,
you know him as.
yeah,
right. It'd be different if his like head got bigger and
yeah,
everything, like some egghead things. Then it's like, oh, or Vegapunk, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, brain point.
like his hat turns into like a top hat on top of like a big head or some shit. Something goofy. Like,
Right,
give me something.
right. It's something
Because
to
he, I
denote
mean,
that it's
he
a
has
different
nothing.
form.
But don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. The little theory is, if you guys watch Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War, I think he's like the captain who's like the bear, and his evolution is to go from reindeer to human, And when he goes human,
Mm,
he goes like extra strong, extra fast. That's what I'm thinking.
that's
But
interesting. That's like
yeah, a little
a
flip.
spin on the Pinocchio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it because that's his like extra bonkai,
Yeah.
and so
So
I think that's always pretty cool.
I have a
Head,
I have a list of 1 through 5. Or you're going through all, or 1 through 7.
yeah.
You're going through all of them.
Oh, I don't know if I have 7, but go ahead, go off your list.
So, real quick, speed blitz.
Okay,
Number 1, normal reindeer. Number 2, brain point. Number 3 is like where he's all big. He kind of looks like Dalton. You know
heavy
what I
point.
mean? Yeah. Number 4 is I think jumping point, where he's like skinnier, he's lankier. You know what I mean? Number 5 he took from Zorro's gorilla attack, where his
Hmm.
muscles are all swollen.
Arm
6
point.
is horn point. 7
Yeah.
is
That one.
ball point that he got from Luffy.
Yeah.
And then monster.
Oh, and then monster point. Yeah. Then his
Yeah.
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 Does
What about kung fu point?
that's
Oh,
That
that's
one's
no,
close.
that's both.
Yeah, you're right.
and hey, actually do that. Do that. Look at Kung Fu Point and then look at his pre-time skip points. Like his
Yeah,
pre-time skip points are definitely humanistic, hybrid animal like, and then his post-time skip points are just kind of like, hey, I'm kind of goofy, I'm around.
Yeah, but that post time skip just comes with a decline of Chopper.
Yeah,
very true.
that's what we're
But
talking about. In the
that's
beginning,
Oda
Yeah,
though.
right
yeah.
before you
But
got here, that's what we are talking about. It's like, and is it
That's
just like
Oda's doing though. That's Oda's writing.
it's like
Remember.
hmm.
characters is a lot, bro. 10 characters is
Yeah.
a lot.
Agreed.
The medic. Now, watch this. If the medic was like the second in command, third in command, fourth in command, or the medic was somebody that got added on, and the medic was the old warlord, like let's say Jinbei was the medic. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Different aspect, but the medic is a animal-based character that we got in the first 100 episodes of the show. So it's like
It
he
would
can
be
only do so much.
better at least if like you could see Chopper routinely take care of the Straw Hats. Like
Yeah.
that's why you're here. This is your role. Uh, they got hurt in some like shit. Like the for example, if he was around with Zoro in Kokoyashi Village or right after the Baratie, let's see Chopper hook him up. But they haven't really been in those kind of instances until you get to like Thriller Bark. But even then, like you don't really
Yeah.
see too much of how Chopper's assisting with Zoro.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I mean,
So
we
it's
were talking.
so it's like that's why you get regulated in the post time skip as the mascot. Like that's why you got the $50 bounty, 50 berry bounty. That's why, because
$1,000 bounty.
it's like when you get to it's so drastic of a change for him to go into Monster Point that you genuinely can't fathom that that's the little reindeer kid.
I just find it interesting
I
that
mean,
they
he has
both
the
have
hat, but still.
the human fruit though. That's the. I mean, human.
I
Just
mean,
wait
because
for
like
it.
even with the giant hat and him being in Monster Point, you could even argue, well, they have Mary Joie. Emu has a giant straw hat. That's not Luffy's. So it's like he could have just had the monster could have just had another thing. But the point is, like, Chopper doesn't do anything to necessarily stand and stick out aside from being the youngest, the cute one, the I can get a lot of toys out of this, the hiding backwards and everything, and like yeah. So it's like, what do you really expect?
Yeah,
Nothing. Yeah,
that's the thing about Chopper.
but
Yes.
he's
I'm
coming.
sorry.
He's coming. He's coming, bro.
Yes.
He's coming. What?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's the thing about Chopper. I'm hoping that the mythical Tanuki thing is kind of just like, hey, I don't.
The
I hope this
Tanuki?
is going Tanuki. I'm sorry. I
Hmm.
hope this is going somewhere with the Tanuki thing, because it's like they've been saying it the whole time. LBAP is our like longest reaching history, supposedly. Please say something about Tanuki. Please say something about Chopper that'll get him going. As far as like his like, do you guys think he's become a better doctor post time skip? We don't usually talk about
No.
post time skip in these
No.
like reviews or
No.
anything like that, but it's like I feel like
I'm
this is
still waiting on it because he showed up at that place after Kumla sent him flying to learn more medicine and stuff. but it has yet to be revealed. You get to Wano and everything, he does nothing. There's those giant kids, still nothing.
That ice virus, that ice only virus.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like
I think
no.
that's it. I think we're all on the same page. If you're watching at home, I feel like you're on the same page too. You just
Yeah,
let out a
yeah, because
sigh.
it's like we talked about Nami not being able to take a punch or anything, but she doesn't put herself in harm's way like that. Robin's good. Rook is already dead, so he laughs it off. Luffy's tanking everything along with Zoro and Sanji.
Now, how about
So
this?
who needs his help? Because Frankie can repair himself.
They're all gonna fight somebody. At the end of the day, they're all gonna fight somebody. Not Doc Q. Who will it be? Now it could be a Blackbeard pirate. It could be a Marine. It could be a revolutionary. It could be anybody you want. Who would Chopper fight?
That's so hard. If it's not Doc Q and stronger,
I think
it would
that's
probably
it.
be someone larger,
Yeah, that's why
like
I
giant
say the
related
San
and
Juan
everything. Go
Wolf.
back into Monster Point.
That's why I
Like
say like San Juan Wolf. Like something's gonna happen at this point. I
yeah,
think that's our flaw with Chopper. I think that's our gripe. I'll say
yeah.
because he's not a bad character. He has an arc. He has a whole thing going on. It's just they don't have time for 10 characters. But with Chopper, it's just like, where's his end game? Who's he supposed to fight? Like a lot of these people, we can be like, he can fight him or him or him or him. Chopper's just like whoever's left.
That's
He's
why I like
not
the
controlling.
G7 or G8 arc and everything right after Skypiea when they land in there.
You
Huh?
know the thing where I skipped it, filler.
That's fine. That's fine. But
The
that's
only thing I
that's at least
know
why
is
I.
like Luffy's like following that marine, and he like turns around or something like that. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I liked that particular captain, the one who's running it, Jonathan. I liked him. I like how the government sent another dude to come and do a check, but he kept self or sabotaging everything because the captain, the dude who's running the base, he had it on lock. But point being with Chopper is like there was a point in that arc where there were all these wounded Navy Marine soldiers, and Chopper's like, "I'm a doctor, I can't leave," so he goes into his bigger form, puts on some glasses and a like a lab coat, and then just goes out to help all these people. I was like, "Finally, you're doctoring,
I would
finally," but it's
rather
for
be
the
one of them
enemy.
die. Yeah, yeah. I would say
But
I'd
it's like
rather let him
finally you're
die.
doctoring, but dang, it's like
Couldn't do anything else,
glass
huh?
half full
Okay.
is how I'm trying to be.
The thing that is, they try to trick us post time skip. Chopper be pulling hose out of nowhere, and it
Which
makes me
not
question.
out of nowhere. No, it's not out of nowhere. It's just a female animal that can talk. It ain't out of nowhere.
I get
yeah,
that. I get that. I get that. But it's just like they're like, hey, no, Chopper a big deal. They'll be like Chopper
yeah,
senpai. I'm like, all right. First of
yeah,
all,
yeah,
you got a beard. First of all, you
yeah.
calling anybody senpai is disrespect to you and your whole crew. All right. So let's start
Talking
there.
strictly about the minks.
Bro, you literally watch an anime and you're like, Senpai's just too far.
I'm like, okay,
While
well,
Come
talking about a
on.
reindeer
this
who's a
goat
doctor
is
and
going
shit.
too old. This goat too old to be calling
I'm
Chopper
sorry.
senpai.
I'm
This
sorry. We
Oh, I'm
about to
sorry.
see.
Your
We about
suspension
to.
of disbelief is starting to come back, huh?
not me.
Yeah. He's like clones.
No.
Ah.
That's too far.
Ah.
Oh, that's what it is. Chopper's a clone of a Tanuki, right?
Ah. That's what it is.
I feel like they're trying to overhype Chopper by having other people with supposed rep hype up Chopper. That ain't gonna
yeah.
work on me. I gotta see
No.
Chopper do something.
I mean, it
Yeah.
worked for Sanji though for 20 years. like
No, because
until,
Sanji does a lot.
but until like last year, did he?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but it was all off screen. We
yes,
had this talk
yes,
like a
bro.
month and a
No,
half
it
ago.
No,
wasn't off screen.
We
Okay,
had this
if it
talk
wasn't
like a
for
month and
them,
a half
if
ago.
it wasn't for
Yeah.
them, they'd be dead in a cage in Alabasta. They'd be stuck at Ennie's lobby, and they would not have been able to get out
Hmm.
if it wasn't for them. The
you would have never
Going
found a
Mary,
Robin on Water Seven.
they would never found Robin on Water 7. The Going Mary, I'm sorry, yeah, the Going Mary would have been
Hmm.
blown up in Skypiea, so they would never have made it back down. There's a lot
It
of
was
Sanji
it was
shit.
blown up eventually. So I mean, you just
Oh,
bought the time, I guess. It's fine.
It's just delaying the inevitable. He was
Yeah,
already
let's
on his
go ahead.
last leg. That's
that
why
starts
Spirit had to
turning
come in
into
of
a
it.
Chopper pre-time skip conversation. There's a lot to go with Chopper. A lot that could possibly um, we don't know the whole show. We don't know his whole
Sure,
story. So
sure.
let's say that. I'm not trying to disrespect Chopper, but I
No,
thought we
I
got to
think
see
he's
more.
going to be important.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's gonna cure whatever illness that keeps people like Buggy away from the island. He could cure that. He could cure the
What a
smile
power play. Yeah.
side effects, which would then
I've been
put him
waiting
on the
for him to.
same. Which, dude, and we were
Yeah.
talking about this before the show. Like, I would love for him to like develop like a drug addiction to Rubble Ball because he's like in the lab
Oh man, that would be
trying to think,
amazing.
trying to figure some
That
shit
would
out.
be
And he's
amazing.
like Luffy. I don't care about your
That would
One
be
Piece
amazing. And he
or the
goes down like
king
a
of
Caesar
the
Clown route.
pirates.
Because, bro, if he goes down the Caesar Clown route, because Caesar Clown is the
Exactly.
one that told him to risk it all. Yo.
Well, I mean,
That
Yo.
yeah, dude, I'm all
I
for
would
that,
love
dude.
that. I would love that.
that would be a Chopper character. You know what I mean?
Or like, who's the
He's like taking the
who's
fucking Rumble Pill like in like little bits. He's like
you you see him trying to get like Sanji to lay his leg over a spoon and
he's like
shit.
Like
scraping
He's
he's
it
like,
with his
eating it.
teeth. He's like
He's eating
scraping
the
it
little
with his
bits and
teeth like a
everything and
fucking ranger.
transforming.
He's like
Yo, just to see Chopper go throughout the shit, he eating a little piece of the Rumble Ball transforms, and then
that's
Luffy and
kind of
everybody looking at him like
kind of
everybody's
yo.
looking at him like, "Yo, Chopper,
This show would be
there's
better if
no."
it had drug addiction for our heroes.
no, more like character development
That's
because
true.
Tony Chopper, like, I mean, let's be honest, like that we've seen it in the show. We've seen it where those kids in Punk Hazard were fiending for that shit, dog. They were aching.
We have seen Caesar and we have seen Gecko Moria, two like scientists that have gone and they ain't
No,
gone
it's
good.
not Gecko Moria. It was the Hog dude.
I'm just trying Hogback. I'm just trying to throw Gecko
Hogback.
Moria in there. I like Gecko Moria.
Anyway, but like I would like the whole idea of Chomper getting like the Rumble Ball, taking off little bits and pieces, eating it, transforming, and then everybody looking at him all concerned and everything because it's like we're not even in a battle,
He's like the buff
and he
Stewie
just
that's like
eating and
getting
shit.
a
I would
bride's
love to
way.
see his fur get all matted and
He had
unkempt.
a spoon. He fucking dude chewing on spoons. Like, bro, are you good?
Like, I want him to do more because I see
Yeah,
it. I know he has a dream, and I want him to accomplish that because he's a cool character. But
yeah. You want to cure everything, including relapses.
even during Punk Hazard, when everybody changed bodies, I know we're in this pre-time skip, but post-time skip, there's not a whole lot going on, anyways. I'll be honest. Like even that was just, hey, don't talk in Chopper's body, please,
Yeah,
Frankie. Like that was the most we got out of Chopper during that whole entire thing. It was it's all been disappointing
You gotta.
because he could be pretty cool.
This should be the double
no.
video. I'm just gonna upload this twice. When we do the post time skips, I'm just gonna
Oh,
upload this again. I'm playing
don't even add anything else. Hey guys, actually, go ahead and skip the next 300 chapters or 500 chapters because there's nothing left.
That's funny.
No, he's got something there. He does.
No.
We all I think we all believe it. We all think that
Right.
he's got something. It's just not there yet. It's like Frankie. It's like Usopp. Keep telling us that it's going to come, but it's not coming, and you're not getting more powerful.
First of all, you're not gonna put Usopp on the same level as Frankie
Stop.
and Chopper. No,
Stop.
I'm trying to
No
tell you,
way,
this
bro.
bullshit. Like,
People come to this channel for our honest opinions, and you out here
For
lying to
hard-hitting
them,
facts.
dog.
right now,
Or
You are
non-biases.
lying
I'm
to
trying to
these
close
people.
out the show, and you're doing this.
You're trying to lie to audience. He's drunk.
This
Don't
is
listen to him.
Yeah, he admitted it earlier.
He said,
Follow us, like, subscribe. Tell us your favorite pre-time skip Chopper moment. This is crazy.
And why is it him getting inspired by Luffy saving the flag?
The Chopper's got a lot of pre-time skip moments. I think we can all
No.
He
agree
does.
on that. At
What
the
the
end
fuck?
of the day, hey, Chopper has a lot of pre-time skip moments. Period.
they're just not fights, and that's fine, and that's perfect, and I'm totally cool with that.
It's going down the Nami route. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
It doesn't look good in the manga or in the anime, but we know if we're reading it, we
In
know.
our hearts, it matters. Like he said,
In
it
our
doesn't
heart of
look good in
hearts.
the manga. It doesn't look good in the anime. It doesn't look good on paper. I can tell you that much.
Doesn't look
But
good
what
in
I
the
can
YouTube
see,
video either, but here we are.
yeah, so this gonna be the lowest ranked YouTube video.
All
Behind
right, so
Sanji, of course.
I gotta end this later.